or just general?
It's a Warriors video, isn't it?
So I guess so. Yeah, on the yeah.
So I
Okay.
guess, you know, solo, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. Hello, everybody.
Hello, friends.
We are joined today with the man himself. If you'd like to introduce yourself, Mr. Latino.
Hello, friends, lads, lasses, boys, girls, helicopters, chopter copters, toasters, and panini makers. It's me, I'm back. Hello. A lot of you may know me by my Twitch name, Biggers2005. Some of you might know me by my Instagram name, Mr. Latino 1067. But most of you, I hope, will know me by my YouTube name, Mr. Latino. Hi, I'm back. My internet is worse now. So, obviously today, if you read the title, if you didn't, what are you doing here, you weirdo? Why are you clicking a video when you haven't read the title? You madman. Anyway, we're going to be giving our opinions on the Warriors A to V, and of course it's going to be a solo, because if we're going to do them, you know, fucking jungle, support, carry, fucking mid, we're going to be here all day, and you guys have things to do, people to see, money to make, things to learn, and cars to drive. So we won't take up that much of your time, but if you want to leave a like, subscribe, share this to your friends, and if you're feeling a little bit frisky, maybe even give us a little bit of, you know, some ad money, some revenue, maybe, possibly, you know?
Tasty.
Yeah, just a little bit, you know, a little bit under the table, you know how it be. You don't have to, but, you know, if you could.
Thank you, Jason, for that. Sorry, Mr. Latino. So we'll be going through our thoughts on the character, like how strong they are, the skill level, and whatnot. So we're gonna start off with the man himself, Achilles. Would you like
Possibly
to go
the ugliest character I've ever had to look at in my lifetime.
he's a pretty naff character looking at him. So obviously, do you want to start?
No, you play him, so you start.
Well, I've always had a sort of set opinion on him, which is I hate versing him. I hate his stun. It's pretty easy to land. And then obviously he's got his little combo dodge, which he can hit you twice with. Obviously, if he hits you like a god with it, which does like how much is it? So 190 plus. I mean, it does a decent amount of damage, but obviously his main damaging ability is obviously his one, and then his two can come in handy, not necessarily for the healing, but like for the procs as well. Late game, it's really good. So because you can overcap on your, well, not overcap, but it goes over the procs that you can get, but it does count. So that's also really good. I do think he's a pretty strong character. From the tier list I saw though, he seems pretty iffy. Like he's not too good, but he's not like shit. He's like in between. So that, I mean, I'd say he's pretty strong, but like, you know, that's really, it's opinionated, isn't it? So I mean, his heal on his 2 isn't exactly the greatest. Obviously, it gives you some sort of sustain into lane, but like it's not, you know, that great. Skill level, I think it's pretty. Yeah, it's in between in terms of skill level. His abilities aren't necessarily hard to hit. His execute, I think that can be really stupid strong in the sense of you can execute more than one person at once. Like, well, if you execute one and then execute another one straight after, I think that's pretty stupid. So, but yeah, that's my opinion. So, yeah. I'll let you go.
If I had to give my opinion on Achilles, it's mixed, because I've fought him on the solo lane, but the thing is, I don't see him enough to really make a proper judgment on him. I feel like he is a good character, you know, he's a good solo laner, you can play him support and you'll do okay. I don't know about jungle, but for the most part I feel like he's good. All of his abilities, you know, minus his 2. Well, actually, if you level his 2 towards the end, then it's really good. But obviously, he's a character with an execute, you know what I mean? So he's bound to be strong either way. It's not Ao Kuang level executes or, you know, Thana level executes, but it's an execute nonetheless. Because, you know, even though he takes more damage in his ult, because it says, you know, his Achilles heals exposed, blah blah blah, that doesn't really come in handy all that much, considering, you know, a lot of the time if you're in execute health, you're running. And that thing can reach from days away. But the really thing about his the janky thing about his ult is that if you just go really close to him, because of the camera angle, it looks really weird. So if you're just in an Achilles face, you can almost like confuse him. Because the line is very like, it's straight and it's narrow, you know what I mean? And it doesn't even really have a line or like in a set reticle. It's just kind of like you aim in their general direction and hope the game recognizes the hitbox. Because for the most part, what I've seen is people counter it like Fenrir ult, where they'll run in your face and like run left and right, so you can't really hit them. So you know, in that case, his ult is kind of janky. It's as an escape, it's pretty good. You know, you go like a couple of feet, and then obviously you can turn around, bang, hit them with a combat dodge, dodge away again. And then if you have blink, blink away. So you know, in terms of escape, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
His stun, it can be weird for me because obviously you know it's the range of it. They have to be really close to you. I don't understand why that's a thing. You know, either he has a stun or he doesn't. I don't understand things like that. It's dumb to me. But it is pretty good and it does, you know, strong damage overall. But the one thing which nobody ever talks about is his fucking passive.
Oh yeah.
His passive is just, it's borderline useless. I don't think I've seen anybody use the armored stance. Everybody runs around in the unarmored stance. You know. I cannot tell you the last time I ever saw an Achilles using the armored stance. There is no point to his ult. You know, it is passive. But overall, I think he's in the middle. He's in a very delicate balance. If they nerf him, he's going to be too nerfed. He's going to be pretty bad. If they buff him, he'll be too strong. So he's just kind of in the middle, in like a limbo. So his skill level, I would say probably mid-range. You know, leaning towards maybe a little bit higher. There are things to learn with him, of course, like every character, but you know, of course, maybe you'll get the hang of it by playing more games, but he's definitely not a warrior you can just pick up and play whenever you want. You have to have some knowledge of the solo lane before doing that, I think.
Thank you, Jason.
Moving on to Amma.
Amaterasu.
Amaterasu.
Want me to go first or?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say straight up before I go. I think she's probably one of the. I'm just gonna say it before I get into it. I think she's probably one of the worst out of all the warriors. She does have a few redeeming factors, but generally speaking, I think she's just one of the worst. I mean, let's start off with like. I mean, she has some sort of sustain. That's a 1, I believe it. Yeah, but for the most part, it doesn't really give much. I mean, yeah, it gives more speed, and it gives you a heal, but it's not really. Yeah. Obviously, her passive, you take more damage, but 10% increased damage. Like, you know, it's not really. Obviously, she has a dash which can silence. But it doesn't, you know, I don't feel like it really, because that's her main form of escape, obviously, other than her ult, but if you dash in too aggressively, then bah, you're dead, whatever. That's like any character, really, but she doesn't really have the sort of damage, in my opinion, to be able to then do other stuff, so, but I feel like she's probably one of the worst, if not the worst warrior. I mean, she is fun to play from what I've played her, but like when you're going up against like other characters that can dish out more damage in a much quicker time, then you're sort of screwed, really. So, skill level. I mean, I don't think she requires a lot of skill to play, but I mean, like, iffy because she does, but she doesn't. Like, you need to be able to get something done with her, then yeah, you do, but the basic idea of her, you don't really. Hello, Jay. I'm Jay. You're right. I don't think she requires much skill, though. That's just it, though, really. But I don't think she's very strong at all. I think she's pretty dog shit. So yeah, her passive's dog shit. Her ult's good for stunning to like help heal for your team or whatever. But like, you know, most of the time you're just gonna die and can't really do much about it. So bah, really, I guess.
Yeah, more or less.
That's yeah. I think that's yeah.
What would you say about her passive?
Yeah, that's the thing. So where you hit people 3 times with basics. Obviously then they take more damage, but that's only really useful. Like, well, it's not really even that useful really in like the beginning of the game. When you're fighting in lane, but I don't. I think it is a pretty shit passive, to be honest with you.
Mm,
Obviously, it sort of it helps. I mean, you can clear minions faster as well. If you know, I mean, but I think it's a dog shit passive.
you know, went deaf for a few minutes there. Damn.
Uh, so yeah, that's my opinion on that character.
If I had to give my opinions on good old Amaterasu, I would say that every time I've faced her in the solo lane, I've never gone, oh, Amaterasu, whatever will I do? It's always been like, oh, it's Amma. It's like, if I play stupid, I'm gonna die. You know what I mean? If I play like an absolute boosted retard and don't take it serious, I will die. Because early game, her base damage is enough that it will hurt. And obviously she has that, you know, AoE swinging thingy. I think it's called Dazzling Offensive. Yeah. And that's pretty good at clearing. And also when she throws a mirror, Heavenly Reflection, that's also pretty good at clearing wave. So so obviously, you know, she'll be, you know, 2ing and 3ing a lot. Sorry, 1ing and 3ing. But, you know, yeah, I don't think I've ever sat down and gone, oh no, I'm at Amaterasu. But, her 2, in my opinion, is... It's a silence, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, yeah, she dashes forward, she silences you, but it doesn't last for that long. It's literally a second. You're just standing there like, what the fuck? You say, okay, why would you do that to me? I feel like she does have good escape though with that glorious charge and of course her ult, because you know that ult sometimes hits hard.
Oh, it does for sure. Yeah.
That ult sometimes can hurt real bad.
Mhm.
And yeah, man. Yeah, for the most part though, it's used. Yeah, it's used to damage because obviously you know she doesn't get a movement penalty for moving backwards. You know, it's not like you have to turn around to move faster. I think she moves in the same speed in every direction. If I'm right in saying that, I'm pretty sure. So
Uh,
I think I don't feel like she moves slower when she walks backwards in her ult anyway.
oh no, I
And if you
think yeah,
do, then
yeah,
it's not like anybody's gonna follow you.
sure, yeah,
It's not like anyone's gonna fucking follow you because that shit hurts sometimes.
yes, sir.
Overall, I'd say she's pretty meh in the solo lane. She's okay. She's not terrifying. You know, there are times where you see her and you're like, I can't be asked to fight you because the lane, you know, it's gonna be stale. You know what I mean? They're probably gonna be, you know, pretty far behind in their tower unless you're also playing a pretty shit solo laner. So for the moment, you know, it's kind of like, this is going to be a really boring lane. So, you know, in that case, you know, she's not really fun to fight. But it's understandable, she's not the best. But also, it is kind of like, if you play stupid and rush her in her tower line, you're going to... She has enough that it's just like, what are you doing, you weirdo?
Yeah.
You know, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you diving me on the tower, you absolute knobhead? I do agree, her passive, shit. It's not as good as other passives.
Yep.
Overall, with her skill, I'd say she's pretty high. It requires, you know, a lot of semblance to play her well. It's not like you're gonna go into lane and go, okay, this is King Arthur. I'm going to smack him, and he's going to die a brutal and painful death. You know, it's gonna be, I don't want to go near that King Arthur because he hurts. But yeah. Overall, she's good, but she's not great. She's leaning towards bad. But I do think she requires a lot of skill.
Well, okay. Thank you.
Moving on to... Oh, God. Oh, I don't want to. Good old Bologna.
Okay.
Oh boy, this will be fun.
You've come to the best mechanic in the
Okay.
galaxy.
Alright, do you want to go first? I'll let you go first if you want.
See, I'm not sure I want to. Well, okay, so it's Bologna. You know what I mean? Oh my days, I don't know where to start with her because on one hand, I feel like she is bad. She's not the greatest, but also early game, if you build something like, I don't know, Death's Toll, she is so fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Especially the little hammer ability where she spins around and smacks you on the fucking head. Yeah, that's easy to dodge, but it's not all the time, because sometimes that shit will hit you from God knows where, and you'll feel like, how did that hit? And then, of course, there's a shield bash where she hits you and she has a sword and shield out. That is so stupid, because you can't auto her during that time. You have to use abilities, which is fine if you're anybody, if you're a warrior. But sometimes, you know, when you're trying to like use movement abilities because you're low and she hits you with that, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And then of course there's a little whip thingy, and that is possibly the most annoying ability in the game because she hits you, she silences you, and then she hits you again and she hits you harder and harder and harder, and it's just like whack, 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 and you're like, oh my god, leave me alone. And then of course there's a good old ult, you know, where she screams Roma Invicta.
Oh,
which,
raw.
You know, I'm not even sure the devs know what that means. I don't know what it means. Nobody knows what it means. People just kind of scream it sometimes. But, in the solo lane, she's terrifying. I'm scared of her. I don't like fighting her. Even though people say she's bad, I fucking despise this character with all my heart. So, you know, maybe my opinions are a little bit biased, but I feel like she's stupid. Everybody says you build defense, but I feel like she shreds my defense.
Yep.
And, yeah, you know, in terms of her skill, I'd say, you know, mid to low. Pretty low. It's a low skill gap, really, to play. I feel like you don't need to learn all that much. Of course, there's still things you do have to learn, but I don't feel like it's like, I don't know, other character levels of learning. It's more like, okay, so I use this if I want to do big damage, I use this if I want to not take damage, and I use this if I want to ruin their day. Her passive, I don't actually know what it is.
Pretty good, actually, for early game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Protections, okay.
I didn't know that myself.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good early game.
So, yeah. Skill level, mid to low. I don't think she requires all that much skill. She's a pain in the ass to fight, and I don't like her. And those are my opinions.
Okay. Yeah, so generally speaking, I do... it's generally the same as yours. I hate versing this character in the solo lane. I hate her mainly early game. Mainly. That's where I feel like... I mean, she shines pretty much all game, but I feel like for example, like the bludgeon, like the hammer ability, like that shit does so much damage, like straight from the start. Like it works so well with death toll. Like obviously she can hit multiple people at once, can't she? So with the death toll just sort of stacks up on top of that. I mean, death toll's an amazing one anyway.
There is one thing about her hammer thing, if you don't mind me interrupting.
Go ahead.
You know, based on the amount of gods you hit, it does more damage.
I didn't know that. No. Oh
like
shit.
The slam down will do more damage. The more gods that you hit with it and the spinning. I didn't know that until I watched the video on it, and I was like, oh.
Oh, okay. Every hammer shit.
So, you know, that influences it. Not really in the solo lane, but in team fights.
Okay. Only benefits 33% of Bella's total lifesteal. Okay. And then, so that's that ability. I feel like it does a shit ton of damage from the start. It's great for clearing anyway. Her one, the shield bash. It's great for just anti-ganks as well. Simply due to the fact of if she hits like... Yeah, so if she hits like 2 gods or something, then she'll get like 2 stacks of like block. It's called. Yeah, that's right. Which obviously she can. It doesn't sound like a lot, but it does help quite a bit.
Yeah, I would say so.
Especially if you versus like a hunter with crit, that's 2 crit hit like shots. If they don't have like a great attack speed, then just have like crit, then that's 2 crit shots that they sort of can't get on you. If that makes sense. That's that ability. Obviously it slows as well. Yeah, as you said. The third one, which is the little whip, annoying ability. Oh, I didn't know that. At max upgrade, it disarms you for 2.2 seconds. Holy shit.
Damn.
I didn't know that. Fucking hell. Obviously, if you're playing like someone like Ula or something like that, you can switch stance and it will cancel it out. But it's a really iffy situation, really. It's a stupid thing. Obviously, she heals from it. Yeah. Overall, it's a good escape. It's a good offensive all. Obviously, she's faster in it. You gain physical power, 60 and 75 magic power for your teammates. Huh. Okay. So it's great for obviously stuns. It's great overall. Her passive, that's it's only good early game because obviously max you're gonna get so like what? How much you get? 25 protections each, which is really good early game. Like those protections do mean quite a bit. Her passive's really good for chasing down enemies because of that movement speed stack as well. Yeah, she's annoying, just a really annoying harasser character, hyper aggressive character early game and late game. So skill level, I don't think she requires any skill whatsoever. You sort of just build like mannequins or like your death's toll and you'll be good to go, really.
You'd honestly probably get away with trans.
Yeah, you probably, I mean, I saw someone build bluestone on her actually the other day. It didn't go well actually, surprisingly.
I
But
feel like the main thing that people tend to build is like mannequins or death
yeah,
star.
mannequins like the sort of attack speed sort of thing. But yeah, I don't think she requires skill to play. She's an annoying as character to deal with. Strong character. Yeah. I think she is one of those sort of characters that you can just pick up and be like, yeah,
Here I go.
here I go. Let's start harassing people that have been playing the game for hours upon hours. Yeah, but that's my opinion on that stupid ass character. That's Bologna, my friend. And then
Boy, oh boy.
we've got the man himself. I'll let you go first.
The
Shock.
Mayan terror. The
Shock.
god of rain. The man himself. The bringer of chaos. The lord of thunder. The original lord of thunder. And actually god of lightning. Well, he's the god of rain. He's the god of pretty much everything that happens during a thunderstorm. So you know. Fuck you. But anyway, yeah. Shaq. Shaq is one of those characters that when you come into the game, you're like, I hate this man. I hate everything he stands for. He makes me want to die. You know? And it can seem that way. You spam circles at people. You know? Your ult is one big circle. Your rain is one big circle. You know? Your spin is also a circle. So, you know, all its abilities are circles. It's kind of hard to miss. But the thing that he suffers from is, of course, being an old character. So, you know, his axe takes about 20 years to fucking land, even if you throw that shit in front of you. It's a good escape to play mind games, but that's all it's good for. It does decent damage, of course. So, you know, it's nice in that case, but he doesn't have a true escape, if that makes sense. He doesn't have a true escape, which is what most warriors nowadays have or need in order to stay alive. But his axe does really nice base damage. It does nice base damage. Early game he's really strong. His teleport thing, you know, his 1 and his 2 can be weird sometimes. Because there's times where you just want to throw out your axe to, you know, to poke. But then obviously you get into a situation where people will come running at you and you're like, oh shit, I need to spin and do some AoE, but you can't spin because you'll teleport your axe. You'll teleport to your axe, and your axe might be in a bad location where you end up behind their team, and you don't really want to do that because then you fuck your team. So, you know, there's that. I wish there was a way to toggle something like that, but obviously, not a perfect world we live in. In a perfect world, you would be able to. But yeah, speaking about this 2, his 2 is nice for AoE. It's nice for the clear. Again, it can be kind of jank, but there is one thing. If you teleport to it, or sorry, if you just use it, you get, obviously, torrent, the actual thing. And that stacks, and then obviously with that you gain, I think it's attack speed. I think you gain attack speed with it. Something like that, I think so. There's also the one thing which is kind of obscure, where if you throw your axe and you actually teleport through someone, it will do half the damage of the torrent. So like, it will do half of what the torrent does if you just hit them regularly, which is good considering. And there's obviously his rain dance. His rain dance is really good. If you max his 3 and you just want to be tanky man, you will be. You pretty much won't die because his rain is a little bit stupid sometimes. It's kind of unkillable at certain times. And then obviously there's his big boy rain, where he throws down his axe and then he rains. It's really nice slow. It's not a CC, which is be kind of stupid if it was. But it is a good slow. It's big. It does healing to yourself mainly. So, you know, that's always nice. It's also good to combo over the ult, of course. Speaking about his ult is yeah, it's shackle, so it's pretty painful. It does big damage early game. Late game, early game it's a nice ult. You know, it silences, it knocks up, so you can throw down your axe and rain and slow them down. And then, bada bing, bada boom, they're kind of dead. Late game, you kind of run in, you ult, you run away. Sorry, you run in, you ult, throw axe, rain, spin, run away. That's your job, late game. Obviously, it doesn't do piss to hunters, because hunters will just look at you and go, "What are you doing, you weirdo? Die." They'll hold R2 at you so hard you physically disappear from the game files. You literally just go, gone, never to be seen again. His passive, people say it's bad, but I think it's really good. You know, you do, what is it, 5 basic attacks, and the next ability has a lower cooldown, and it also, you know, doesn't cost you anything, so that's pretty good if you don't have your blue. And overall, he's a menace early game, so you can feed yourself pretty effectively and be a lane bully. You know, Shaq is one of those characters you play him in lane, and it's either going to go really well, depending on how you play him, of course. But late game, he's pretty meh. Doesn't do a lot. Kind of ults, tanks a lot. Kind of hard to kill him sometimes. Other times it's not. But in terms of his skill level, I'd say mid, probably leaning towards low. There's not a lot to learn on him. At least I don't think there's a lot to learn on him. Yeah, that's Shaq, everybody. Big mind. Also, Shaq Latin America, best skin in game, don't care what you say. Literally gonna get that tattooed on myself. My skin. Have it as my wallpaper.
Yeah, I mean, mine's sort of just going to be, it's mainly the same as your sort of opinion, like generally speaking. He's, I'd say he's mainly just like he's more of an early game character just due to his damage. Depending on which way you go about leveling like his abilities, you can just go for sort of like hyper aggressive and just level like his 1 and obviously his 2. Mainly his 1 for the damage, and just forget about obviously the rain. But that sort of then, as I was saying to you earlier, like that sacrifices your sort of sustain on the lane. So you sort of just go in fully and just try and go for the kill and do big boy damage, or you sort of just generally tear away at the person's health and see who lasts longer, I guess. I mean, I'd say generally speaking, people do sort of. Let's be honest, people do hate Shaq. They don't like versing him. They don't like versing him.
Which is fair.
When I first got the game, I did hate versing him. I thought he was a ridiculous character who was overpowered. But as I sort of like learning about the game, other characters to play and shit like this, he generally isn't so much. He's not so much strong. Like he's like in between, really. I guess. But yeah, like you said, late game, it's more just like, yeah, okay, you can silence, bah, and then get shredded by like a hunter or a mage or something like this. Yeah. In the okay, actually, yeah, we don't talk about in the jungle, but like, I've saw him a few times in the jungle, but they don't generally actually do full damage. I've saw they do hybrid more than anything.
Yeah, I've
So,
seen more bruiser builds than anything else.
yeah. I mean, what? Because you just get shredded otherwise we can get close to people. So, but yeah, on the solo lane, he's more of a menace, like early game. So then you can rotate out your lane and then cause havoc to the mid lane or whatever else you want to do. But yeah, yeah. Skill level, I'd agree with what you said. Yeah, he's like mid. Yeah, mid. I'll just stick at mid. Yeah, that's fine. He's fun character to play. Though, don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
He's really fun to play.
I love it.
Yeah, obviously he's got amazing voice lines, an amazing voice pack, an amazing dance. So I have to get this in to the video.
A little protection, huh?
But yeah, like I said, he's a fun character to play. Can be a bit of a lame body, depends really. But yeah, that's the man himself, Shaq.
My God. Fuck you.
Say that again, sorry. He might like the bit then.
Said fuck for.
Ah, yes.
Shaq supremacy.
Ah, yes.
Oh boy,
okay.
oh boy.
Okay.
Everybody's favorite.
Okay. Okay. Alright. So, Kakulan. I think we're gonna have pretty much the same general opinion on him. I personally absolutely despise versing this character. A simple fact of, okay, I'm gonna dive you under your tower level 2 and kill you.
How you doing?
Still not over that.
It's ridiculous! I'm never gonna be over that, Jason. I will never be over that.
What happened pre-boost patch?
Yeah, that happened pre-boost patch before Kakulan even got nerfed. Because I know they nerfed like the shield that he gets on his thing, but like a little backstory for everybody. I think I might have even got it on stream where I got dove into my tower by level 2 Kakulan. Anyway.
In the slow lane, if you didn't know.
In the solo lane, yeah. Who was I playing? I do not know.
If I can find it again, I'll definitely link in the comments so you can go have a look.
Thank you. Generally speaking, I just hate this character in general. His rage is ridiculous. Although I don't see him as much nowadays. I haven't saw one really properly on the solo lane in quite a while, which is a blessing in disguise. Well, not in disguise, but just a blessing.
Chef's kiss.
Obviously he got nerfed slightly with the shield that he gets before in his little rage form.
Little.
Skill, well, I played him before once, and I seem to do peanuts with him. I don't understand why. And I just got shredded.
It's time to hit the beat.
So on skill level, I honestly don't know what to say. I really don't, because when I do it, I do nothing. So, I mean, so I honestly don't know. But in terms of like how strong would I say he is? It's like I'd say he can be up there. But most of the time, Kakulans, they do tend to sort of get a bit too cocky, which sometimes they can get away with, but sometimes they don't. Like, for example, like I said, diving under the tower, sometimes they might underestimate or overestimate how much health they have or whatever else in the rage form, and you may just be able to kill them or whatever, which can be a plus, because obviously, over committing whatever else, getting too cocky, that's good for you. But yeah, that's I don't want to go too in depth about this character because I just hate him. So yeah. Oh, obviously without his rage form, he doesn't really tend to. Doesn't really do too much. He's bah without his rage form. Obviously, his rage form is where he gets most of his, well, pretty much all of his damage, really. Without that, he's bah. So yeah, that's my opinions on this stupid ass character. Go, Jason.
This will be fun. Let me start by saying, this opinion's going to be biased. If you don't like that, I don't care. Okay. I absolutely, wholeheartedly, 100% hate this character. I don't understand how people can have fun with this guy. He's just early game. His rage form is just a second ult. Let's be real. It's just an ult. And when he's fighting his buff, he comes onto lane and he's like, "Hello, I've almost got my rage form." So that means you kind of have to run or you're dead. And that can be annoying, considering his rage form has a really good CC. And of course, he's constantly doing that AoE, which is basically just better mystical or free mystical. So yeah, that's fun. Love Kakulan. Obviously, dive you under your tower. Level fucking 2. Doesn't matter if you play safe. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's Kakulan. He's just gonna look at you and go, "That's a nice tower you got there, bud. Better retreat to T2 or you're fucked." He walks up to you, he screams in his rage form, you go, "Oh no, I've crapped my pants, I must now run away." But he goes, bitch, slam. And you're like, "Oh, I'm CC'd." And then he goes, "Bitch, run into wall, boom." And then, yeah, hate him, wish they would remove him, delete him, now, please, or else I will bomb high-res. For legal reasons, that's a joke. It's not a joke.
It's not a joke. Is that what skill level, Jason?
None. No skill. Pick him up whenever the fuck you please. You'll be fine.
Fair enough.
Just build mystical, first item. Don't even think about it, just build it.
Oh shit, yeah, I forgot about that.
Rush mystical and you'll probably be fine. And if you don't want to do that, build bluestone, then build mystical. You'll be fine, trust me. I know from experience because it's happened to me so many fucking times now and it's genuinely painful. It's made me not want to play the solo lane. I've been playing support because I'm scared of Kakulan.
You gotta respect it. Respect Jason for that decision.
Good old, the next boy, good old Erlan Shen. Mink!
Yes. Okay,
Mink!
Who should I burn?
Okay. Well, it's a weird one because you don't actually see him too much on the solo lane. Let's be
See
real.
him everywhere else, really.
Yeah, you only see. You generally see him more in like the jungle or somewhere. I've hardly ever saw one on the solo. I saw like 2 or 3. That's it.
Seem like, yeah, that's about the same amount as that.
And that's not when I've been playing the solo lane. That's when others have been playing the solo lane and got shredded or whatever. I don't know. Obviously he's all with the heal. kind of ridiculous at times, depending on not if you can kill him before he gets to heal. Obviously, you got 4 seconds to kill him. Obviously, he's got 2. How does that work? I forgot. He's got 2 basic attacks due to the little dog.
Yeah.
Which, yeah. Obviously, if you build crit or whatever, but we're not really talking about crit. We're talking like solo. Can work well, but the main ability I'd say is his. Sounds like I'm joking here, but like his little mink and his little turtle. Obviously, his turtle. Oh, controller died. Great. Obviously, his turtle.
Great
you can
start.
knock him up, which is great. After you CC them with your 2. And then, oh shit. Mink
Forget about it.
gives you attack speed. Mink into sync, of course. Another little combo.
Fucking mink into sync.
Generally speaking, I do feel like he does have a high skill. I'll be honest. I do think he does have a. I mean, if he really was like that, like overpowered or like strong or required no skill, I feel like more people would play him.
Yeah.
He's more of like the damaging sort of warriors. One of the damaging oriented warriors. Like Bologna, and whatnot. Not many people play him, as I said. Because I feel like he is more suited to the jungle role than the warrior role. I have saw him support as well, but you know, yeah. So yeah, that's. I feel like he's a strong character, though. Don't get me wrong. But that's earning shit for me, anyway.
My opinions on Mr. Mink Man. I feel like he's You know what I mean? But anyway, let me give my actual opinion instead of just making noise. So, his abilities, they're all kind of naff. You know, his one where he makes his little spear thingy light up. That's good, because obviously, you know, you gain additional damage on each strike. So, you know, it's good. And that's nice. His root is pretty okay at times. You know, obviously if people come rush you in the tower, you go, haha, mink. And then you kind of like, you know, you stuck him there, you go whack. He has good gank potential for the jungler. And then, obscure tip. What you can do is you can run up to people, you can auto a few times, you can turtle, knock him up, and give him the good old turt into Bert. It's a new one. The turt into Bert. Which is where you go turtle, you knock him up, you instantly cancel it so you still get the shield, and then you keep swacking him. And then of course there's the blink into mink, where you blink on him, you mink, you hit him, you go, and you smack him around. You know, his transformations both pretty good as an escape, of course. And of course there's the mink into sync. Can't forget those 2 combos. His it's a taunt, so it's R and R really. It's there, it's here, there, it's up there, a little bit is over there, and some of it is down there. For the most part, it's okay. Can be stupid sometimes, but if the Erlang is doing really bad, which most of the time they probably will be, because it's Erlang solo and they don't tend to do good there. It's also weird to hit at certain times. But overall, in terms of his skill, I think he's honestly probably one of the highest skill warriors, if not the highest. His passive dog, useless.
Yeah.
Dog is useless. There's no point to him. But yeah, that's Erlang.
Yes, sir.
It's supposed to be a solo laner. Would you believe it?
Yeah. Okay. Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh.
Oh boy.
You play him a bit more than me, so I'll let you go first.
Good old King of Uruk, Mr. Gilgamesh. I personally feel like when Gilgamesh came out, he was the most broken Smite character to have probably been released. I don't know, I can't really make that judgment. But for the time, he felt stupid, and I didn't like him. I picked him up because he was easy, and I was like, I want an easy character to play. So I played Gilgamesh, got him to Legendary, and then they nerfed him, and then I kind of didn't play him, and then they nerfed him again. I haven't been playing him, and then they nerfed him again. I haven't played him ever since. There was, of course, the animosity days, where people would build animosity, and then he was stupid. But then they nerfed animosity, and there's no point in doing it, so. I haven't touched Gilgamesh in a really long time. There's of course his scimitar, where he lights it on fire. Early game, owie. That shit hurts and it does burn damage and it slows. I think it slows.
It does.
Does it slow? It does slow. That hurts. Paired with his drop kick, ow! Hurts. It's not fun. Speaking of drop kick, drop kick is a really satisfying ability to use when you land it. Just the idea of you being a demigod kicking gods into next fucking year is hilarious. You could use your sword, your strength, anything else, and you go feet,
Boop.
kick. It's like King Arthur, but instead of using just real big sword, you just go kick.
Boom. Dead.
Obviously, kicking minions at people, fucking hilarious. Kicking people into other people, even funnier. And then there's kicking buffs into people. There's kicking buffs into people. Overall, Gilgamesh, god of the kick. There's his jump. I feel like it's a really good escape and also pretty good ability. Also pretty good offensive ability. You know, gives you prots, I think. Yes. Lifesteal, fucking hell, lifesteal, damn. And it's boosted by 15% of 15% of Gilgamesh's highest protection. Fuck me.
I didn't know that.
That's actually really good. Okay, yeah.
Oh, shit, I didn't know that.
And then there's of course the Winds of Shamash. I like it. I like this ult. It's fun. There's something so humiliating when you kill somebody. Like there's just something so satisfying when you just watch your enemy trying to run away as you smack them back in, and even if they get out, you jump after them and you kick them back in again, and then obviously you kick them into the wall and they bounce off, come back, kick them again. It's just really fun ult to use. It's also really strong. I like it. I like your goal. Passive though, shit. I hate it.
Yeah.
It's so pointless. You know, it's either going to lead you on a lovely little adventure to the enemy team's base. I've had one of those before. I've had to go inside of like their base pretty much to get an item which I'm probably not going to use. Sometimes it can be good, other times it can be pretty shit. You know, for the most part it's just, you know, an extra item that you're probably not going to use. Probably just going to sell it for some extra gold, which even then it's probably not going to give you that much gold. But yeah, that's Gilgamesh. In terms of skill, now this Gilgamesh probably mid to low. I don't think there's that much to learn with him. Definitely a lot more now. Because he's one of those characters where he was really OP when he came out, then they nerfed him into the dirt. He's not bad, but he's like I feel like he's on the same level as King Arthur. He's not great, But in the right hands, he's terrifying.
Yeah.
But he's not like King Arthur in any sense of the way that you have to learn anything. It's just, I'm going to drop kick you
Boom.
into your own minions. It's gonna be fun.
Done.
But yeah, that's God of the Dropkick.
God of the Drop.
Mesh.
Google Mesh.
Oh, great voice lines.
Oh yeah.
Great voice pack.
Well, yeah. I mean, once again, it's literally just gonna be me agreeing with you. When he first came out, he was stupid strong, ridiculously strong, to say the least. Now, not so. I mean, I feel like he is still like a. I mean, obviously, he got a shit ton of nerfs. I feel like, as you said, he's one. Does a lot of damage. Still early on. His kick still does, you know, somewhat decent amount of damage still. So it's not like they're completely nerfed him, like where he's like unplayable. Nothing like this. I feel like he is still a semi-strong character. Kit. He's always been a really fun character to play. Just jumping around, kicking people, whatnot. However you may play him, you know.
Kick them back into their own fucking towers.
Yeah, just kick them into their own tower, you know, whatever it may be. Kick them into your tower, so then they can kill you. No,
kick them into someone else's tower.
Kick them into whatever else you want to do. Kick them into Fire Giant, whatever you want to do.
Kick them into another fucking map.
Yeah, like just kill them, and then just like wherever they go, just disappear. Obviously, his ult really good still, regardless. Not because of the initial damage or nothing like this, just because it's slow. That can also help your team to have to secure kills or whatever. Or even sometimes it may just secure a kill by itself, just the damage, because they may just be that low anyway on health. His passive, pretty dog shit for the most part. You're gonna get an item which you're gonna sell near enough most of the time. The locations of where they go, I don't know how they even choose that. Ever so random. It's funny though, just taking you on adventures. Yeah. Skill level.
When you're gonna start like the next lane, the next thing you know, you're in the fucking duo lane.
Yeah, getting like shot out by an Artemis with a ult and getting shredded. Yeah. It's fun though. He's a fun character to play regardless, and like anybody who says different is completely wrong. So yeah.
Smell.
I'll tell you, he's a character to play though. Although his kick is really weird at times. I don't understand it. His kick is really weird to aim sometimes.
Jank as fuck.
But yeah, that's not when he first came out scary. Not so much scary now, but yeah, that's Gilgamesh. Yeah.
God of the Dropkick.
God of the Dropkick, yes.
Now we have Guan Yu Unicorn. No, just Guan Yu.
1 minute,
Oh
Jacob.
boy. Tough titty, we're recording a video, damn it.
Yes, sir. Do you want to go first, or?
Huh? No, I do not. My opinion's going to be very biased.
Okay.
So you should go first.
1 minute, Jacob. Let's finish this one. Wow. Okay. Guan Yu, I absolutely despise this character. I hate versing him. His heal, okay. Late game, I think it's ridiculous with a cooldown reduction on his heal, because let's say he has like what? So he has 1 and he has 2. So he has 2 cooldown resets alone. That's not including obviously the 40% cooldown reduction you can get like just off items and whatnot. So that already is, you know, ridiculous. And then how much does it reduce? Okay, so he's got 2. So altogether he can reduce his cooldowns by 4 seconds. And most of the times you can get his ult twice in a team fight, which, let's be honest, stupid, yeah? His passive, what is his passive again? Let me just takes and deals damage. Okay, oh, okay, yeah. So obviously he heals more if he's getting like attacked or dealt damage or whatever. Um, early game, his little Beyblade ability, I feel like it does stupid amount of damage. I know when he first was released, it was they had to nerf this ridiculously. He was an assassin, I believe.
Yeah, and then they changed his character.
Yeah, because I saw videos on it and he looked so stupid at damage. But I feel like early game as well, the Beyblade ability it does so much damage. I don't know, like I mean, obviously Bluestone that helps as well, but like regardless, it slows as well. No, it doesn't. No, that's his. No, does it?
I don't think so.
No, that's his dash that slows, I believe. Yeah, okay. Obviously, he's immune to like knockbacks and whatnot. During the little Beyblade ability. But generally speaking, I do hate this character. I don't think he requires a brain cell to play. He's a really good team fighting character. His healing is really good, but most of the time people don't think to build anti-heal against him, which I don't understand. So yeah, that's that really, I guess. His ult can be good for escaping at times. The stun, I think. Obviously, you can dismount it at any time and it'll stun regardless and whatnot.
Play mind games.
Mind games, yes. You can either escape or do that.
Games.
But yeah, I think he's a pretty strong character. Really good team fight potential, and yeah. So I'll let you go now.
Oh boy, this will be fun. I absolutely despise Guan Yu with every ounce of my body. I know, surprising. Jason hates another warrior. I don't like him just because of his passive. You know, in the solo lane, it's a lot of boxing, smacking each other with abilities, poking at each other every now and again. When you're fighting Guan Yu, you're not allowed to do that. No. Not allowed. You have to hit him, run away. Hit him, wait. Doing all of this while clearing wave, by the way, as he furiously smacks the shit out of you. You know. And then, of course, there's his heal. That shit sometimes feels like it's just too clutch. You know, it's good for healing in team fights, good for healing your team. Duh. And just yourself in the solo lane. And of course there's his dash forward. It's weird to hit, but also like it's kind of easy to hit because it slows and then you take damage. And yeah, it's not fun. Don't like it. I didn't know this, but he's actually immune to like roots, cripples, and knockups while dashing. Yeah. And then there's this fucking Beyblade spin. You know, guy watched Beyblade once and was like, I love that. That shit, you know, a certain someone, not saying who, but you're not serious, that son of a bitch, said it requires you to aim. I disagree strongly. That shit does not need to be aimed. You just look in the direction of who you want and you go. And he actually steals protections. Yeah. And he's immune to knock-up. Sorry, knockback. So that's fun. That's always fun. Of course, there's his horse. I like to call whenever I do play him on the rare occasion I do, I like to call my horse Fabian. You know. There's obviously the mind games you can play. It's, am I gonna keep smacking you? Am I gonna dismount? You don't know. It's a good escape, duh, horse. And yeah, on you. Chinese.
Skill level?
Chinese. Skill level? Mid to low. There's a lot to learn on him, but there's definitely some things to learn. As with every character.
Okay. If we move on to Hercules, I'm gonna go to the toilet. How much have we got left anyway?
Is it Hercules?
Yeah, Hercules next. I'll go to the toilet and then we can continue on. Alright, I should be back.
Alright, I'm gonna do an ad.
Alright, thank you.
Alright. So today, guys, we're gonna be talking about Raid Shadow Legends, okay? It's the most innovative mobile app on the market right now. Get it on the App Store, you can get it on the Android Store. It's this RPG type MMO where you go through dungeons and you fight things. There's so many different champions in the game now. You can there's so much to do at every point. There are, of course, ads, but those are okay. You can always buy the premium pass and you know, give a little bit of ad revenue to this good old stream. I know you guys want to do that. And of course, there's that. But yeah, Raid Shadow Legends, guys. Be sure to click the link in the description below and subscribe using the code. Use the code Cutler/Latino to get more gems. And gold in general. You know, I've got time for another ad. What's another ad I can do? NordVPN. Okay, guys. So, have you ever been trying to go for a shit at a party, and then, you know... Oh, sorry, no, I got a better one. Have you ever been in Smite, in the solo lane, and you keep getting ganked because you got no wards? That's what it's like surfing the web with no VPN, especially when you use unsecured networks, you know, network connection and internets, especially if you're in like a public cafe. And yeah, man. Nord is just a really good VPN to get. It's amazing. I personally use it myself, and I've used it a lot. Yeah. Be sure to use the code Cutler/Latino in the description below to get yourself 3 months worth of free VPN. That's Cutler/Latino. What's another ad I can do? What is another ad company that gets frequently? Should I sponsor a really shit mobile game ad? I feel like I should do that. I don't know if I should. You know what? I'm gonna sponsor Bluestone. No, I'm not gonna sponsor Bluestone. I don't hate Bluestone. I like building Bluestone. I'm looking around.
Hello,
Adidas sliders.
Hello.
Get this, guys. Adidas sliders. Possibly the best sliders you can get on the market right now. Sleek, comfortable design with a nice little slip-on type of design. You can just slide your foot on in and you can walk around with them. They're comfy, they're airy. They don't have that weird cushion that the Nike sliders have. Nobody likes a little cushion on their foot. Ugh, nasty. They're nice, they're airy, they're good for the outside. If you want yourself a discount on Adidas sliders, be sure to click the link in the description and use code Cutler/Latino. That's Cutler / Latino for 50% off your first pair of Adidas sliders. No, none of these ads are actually sponsored by those companies. I'm just trying to make up time for the time Mr. Kern, that Cutler was gone. Please don't sue me.
Thank you for the ads. We'll be getting joined by another person for a few more characters before we then end it, and then do part 2 whenever else we do it. So give us a minute. Let's mute the stream for a hot minute. Okay, we're back. Hello, Jacob.
Hello.
Okay, who are we on now?
I saw the stream. You're doing the characters.
Yeah.
Whoosh.
What made you come up with that idea?
Oh, we did it on Overwatch, so.
Yeah, we went through like literally all of the characters.
Oh yeah, wasn't that ages ago?
No, it was only like 2 weeks ago.
Not really ages ago.
A couple of weeks ago. Wasn't it? I'll say ages ago. Not even that really, like, yeah. Who were we on? Hercules was it, Jason? Hark, I believe it was.
Yeah, it was Hark. You did go on you.
Rest for the weary.
Oh, okay. Do you wanna go first, Jason? I know you went.
Have the gold rebel skin.
No rest for the weary.
Yeah, I know you played Hercules for a small time. I know it was a very small time, but
Yeah.
so
Herc. Well, I feel like Hercules is he's a weird one for me. He's actually, I said it was King Arthur, but when I wanted to try the solo lane, the character who I first played in there, other than Ares, was Hercules. There is of course his pull combo, but sometimes that thing is so, at least for me, it's hard to hit. So for that reason, I try not to get angry at it when I get hit by it, but sometimes the hitbox of that thing feels so janky. He also just, early game he does a lot of damage, you know, his autos are strong as hell. He whacks you, like, he whacks you so hard you feel like you're gonna die within like 2 more autos. There's his charge, which if he charges you into a wall, CCs you, but he doesn't need to really charge you into a wall because it'll CC you anyway. And then there's the really stupid combo, which I'll get into in a minute once I get into his ult. But other than that, moving on to his mitigate wounds. Boy, oh boy, is that stupid, because if you didn't know, he heals from that, and he also gains protections, which is it's also magical and physical actually, which is fun. But you know, for the duration, he's healing, so you know it's almost impossible to kill him early game if he has that up, especially if he's leveling it. And then we're gonna move on to actually, quick note. Shield of Regrowth is on every Herc build I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, not important. Well, it is. No Shield of Regrowth. Boulder, big rock, throws Geb at you. Picks up Geb and throws him at you. So, I'm gonna get into the good old combo, which I'm sure most of you know, if not all of you. He's gonna smack you, pull you out of wherever you are, smack you into a wall and go pick up his Geb and throw him at you. And that on its own is a lot of burst damage. And then of course there's the fact that the ball can then roll back and hit you again, and then that does more damage. Fun. And then there's his passive. Yeah. Protections. Good early game, late game. But yeah. Hercules sometimes feels unkillable. In terms of his skill, I would say midway, maybe mid, leaning a little bit towards high. not all the way high, but just a little bit high, just due to his combo being so hard to hit. It can be annoying, it can be stupid, it can not make sense, it'll make you want to tear your hair out. But if you get the hang of it, you're going to be doing good on Hercules, and of course Hercules just by himself is a lane bully. He's good pretty much everywhere other than mid, although he's probably good mid, I don't know, I've never seen Herc mid. That's not important, we're talking Herc solo. Herc solo, ow, painful. I see Hercules solo and I want to DC. And those are my opinions on the good old Herc.
Okay.
Very much, ow, pain.
I'm guessing, Jacob, you wanted to say something as well.
I mean, I can do.
Go for it.
Well, from what I was in the video with Hark, what Jason said, the skill level is just hitting that pluck. If you, the hitbox can be janky, you can look like you're gonna hit and it won't, or it look like it shouldn't hit and it does. But his basics do way too much damage, I feel, from what I've played against him. I played with him. I mean, if you play him, I respect you just because hitting that pluck can be difficult as fuck because people move in the weirdest of ways. And yeah, the heal's ridiculous. And yeah, like Jason said, Shield of Regrowth is just built on Herc all the time because you just spam that heal. And yeah, the boulder just does a lot of damage and it can roll back and do twice as much.
Okay. Well, yeah. Mine's mainly going to be sort of agreeing with these two here. One thing I do sort of want to add. One thing I do want to add is simply due to the rising growth of people using bombers. Bombers hammer is really good on him. Simply to
oh boy.
I mean, not like he doesn't heal enough anyway, but like, you know, if you want to get some cheeky resets in there as well, you know, be even more ridiculous and unkillable. Let's just say unkillable Herc by level 5, just saying. But yeah, I don't think, yeah, the skill level is sort of higher.
On the next one, Lewis, you lot go first. I'm going to be gonna say this for a minute.
Okay. I feel like the skill level is higher simply due to that hitting that pluck. I've only played him like what? Let me see. Like I've only got 87 worshippers on him. I've only played him a few times myself. Simply due to the way like some people move so erratically. It's erratically. I don't know how you say it. Yeah, whatever. It can be hard to hit for the most part. And then it's the second part. Sometimes it doesn't seem to connect. I don't understand it, but I feel like he is a really, really stupid tanky character. In terms of how tanky he is, you'd think he's more of a guardian than a warrior. His heal, ridiculous. You can build anti-heal for it, but I feel like it still does heal a shit ton anyway. But yeah, that's Herc, right? Stupid damage, stupid everything, but skill, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's that.
Who's next?
Horus, okay.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh boy, I love me some Birdman.
Okay.
I do love a good Birdman.
Do you want to go first, or?
I mean, yeah, sure, I'll go first, why not?
Okay.
So, Horus. Where do I go with him? Horus support, oh, pardon me, as most people know, no, I'm not talking about Horus support, fuck off. That's not what we're here to talk about, solo, Horus solo. Horus solo, people say he's not a solo laner, but I don't believe that. I feel like he's actually pretty good in the solo lane. Of course his ult isn't that good in the solo, it's team-based, very team-based. In certain situations it can be good for the Horus, but for the most part it's just not. Yeah. All of his abilities, they hurt a lot early game. He's got really good lane pressure. His clear is okay. Pretty good. There's of course his knock up. there's the little combo people always do, his knock up, where he smacks you in the air. That's always fun. And yeah. And then there's his other one, which I can't remember what he does. Oh yeah, there's his stun. That's always fun, because it reduces your protections for 3 seconds if you didn't know. And that can... 3 seconds doesn't sound like a lot in real time, but in Smite, as we all know, damn, that shit can come in clutch. Especially if you're getting shredded and he's just following up on his team every couple of seconds. And then there's of course his escape. Oh! His escape is fun. You can fly to a teammate, you can fly to a fucking, you know, you can fly to a minion, he can fly somewhere else. He can fly and he'll heal, and then all the damage you did is pointless. He also gains protection for 3 seconds, so that's fun. And then the Horror Soul. It's fine. Actually, good Horror Souls, which most people don't know how to do that. It's fine. Most horses are retards and go, team, we dive on the tower, even though a whole team dead, good idea. And then they'll usually just go in there themselves, and then they're gonna be like, why team no follow? Why me die? It's passive shit. Based on set, don't understand. Stupid. But yeah, Horus.
Is Jacob back now?
Yeah,
Back.
I mean, I think he's ridiculous, depending on what you build. If you build that mannequins, you're gonna shred the bro. Like, he's such a good jungler. He has so much pressure. He's powerful. His ult's pretty shit, but like, his abilities are good. Escape's good. CC's good. The knockup's good, which adds a slow at the end. His passive is pretty weird, but I know it's good because it gives you protections and CCR. But it's like set, isn't it? Like, he'll get more stacks from the set, but it's still pretty decent. But yeah, I think he's really powerful. People underestimate Horus a lot.
Okay. Well, you see, I've actually been playing Horus quite a lot recently, and not so much in the solo lane, but
Everywhere else.
yeah, everywhere else but the solo lane. But from the limited times I have played him on the solo lane, well, because of his one on the second part of it, it's a little I don't really call it the gust damage, I guess. It is an auto attack it classes as, so if you really want to build Death's Toll and get some healing off that, go for it. Which is really good.
But you say it counts as a basic?
Yeah, it counts as a basic, it doesn't crit though.
Really?
Yeah, it counts as a basic. That's why Mannequin works well on it. And that's why I buy Golden Blade, so it clears the minion wave even better. It counts as a basic, that's really good. He's a very hyper-aggressive character, just like Bologna, as we discussed really early on. His damage, I think it's completely nuts. I don't know why he has so ridiculous damage. Obviously, if you're using a little fly ability, you can't be hit during that towards like your teammates. I tested it the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I tested it the other day. You can't be hit during it. I thought you'd think it would say, but it doesn't say. I tested it, you can't be hit during it. I mean, we probably do need to do a bit more of an in-depth test, like say if you put like a Zeus ult down in front of like...
Very flat.
Yeah, because it was only like I was testing it... Who was I testing it against now?
Really? Probably.
Yeah, it was against him, but like, I don't remember what character it chose.
How? Probably.
No, I don't think it was how. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, you can be really aggressive, and then you can obviously making sure you get minions or whatever to fly back to in the solo lane. Once again, he's all pretty much pointless for the most part in solo lane. It's more just sort of when you're fighting in team fights, but I think he's yeah, like you said, he's underestimated and whatnot, so he's not really played in the solo lane whatsoever, really. Skill level, I don't. I mean, his 2 can be really weird to hit at times, but for the most part, I think it is pretty much easy to hit, so. Yeah, that's that. That's horse people. King Arthur, I guess, people, so.
Oh boy.
I mean, I can't really say too much about this, so.
I mean, Jason can though.
Yeah, would you want to start because you had more experience with it?
I mean, it's just King Arthur, bro. You just smash your head on the controller. You start the blue, you go to lane. Even if you get out cleared, you spin away, you get out, and even if you die, you come back and just spin some more. The abilities are ridiculous. If you learn to balance it, you'll be a god tier. And even then, most people don't know how to. They just press buttons, that's whatever button's up, and that's it. I find him really fun to play, but that's just because of that very reason. You don't need to think. You just need to understand, you escape here, and then you fight here. That's it. Like, he's good.
Well met, traveler.
His basics are good, because it's good for auto-canceling, it's good for getting close. He's just a strong god.
Yeah, alright. In my opinion, I would say King Arthur is a weird one. At least for me. I've played him a lot, gone to Diamond. Oh, your boy, that's been fun. When you first start playing him, he's a bit of a weird one, because he's a switch stance character, but not in the traditional sense of you switch the stance yourself. It's more like you use an ability, the stance switches, and then you have to use whatever's in there. All of his abilities are pretty solid, depending on what you want to do. So, you know, his ranged, good, his cleave, it works in a weird way in my opinion, because it does disarm, it cripples enemies, but it doesn't do that much, it doesn't cancel abilities all that well. The stomp is nice, it does decent damage, and then there's the knock up, which is also nice because that confirms your level 2 ult, no matter what. Doesn't matter what happens, it's always confirmed. Unless they beat your level 2 ult, then you're kinda fucked. And then of course there's his twin cleave in the blue stance, where he spins, but it's not a long spin, it's a little spin, it's just a dash. And then there's his yellow stance spin, as we all like to know, as we all know, Beyblade Man! He spins in a rapid circle, and the last spin does more damage, which is nice. He's also immune to knock-up, which is always great. It's good for clearing all of his abilities are pretty good for clearing wave. Then there's of course his ults. The CC is good for finishing off people. They're both more or less the same, to be honest. Both are good for confirming kills. I would say the level 1 is just, it's good for CC and team fights if someone's running and you need a CC and a long range one. It's good for that. It does decent damage, I've killed people with it. Then there's his level 2 ult. It's good, but for the most part it's only for confirming kills or setup of course. But I'll say this about King Arthur, I feel like his passive, I feel like he revolves a little bit too much around his passive. Because of course, you're always going to want the level 2 ult more than the level 1 ult. The level 1 ult is pretty situational in most cases. You're going to use it, yeah, but that's mostly in team fights. If you're in the solo lane, you want to get the person low, and then you want to ult them to confirm the kill. You know, unless they're bees. I guess, you know, you can just damage a minion and then CC them. But even so, I feel like he revolves around his ult too much. I don't know how necessarily they could balance him in a different way. But it's just annoying sometimes. His autos are weird, you know. They're dashes more than they are autos, and there's only 2 of them. In my opinion, he's relatively hard to play. Relatively, I feel like. When I started playing him, I couldn't play him for the life of me because I didn't understand the solo lane. And then, you know, I came back with him, and even so, it's neither here nor there. You know, it can go either way. If you're behind on King Arthur, you're going to be behind for a really long time. You do outtrade most people, but depending on what they build, you can be kind of fucked in those scenarios. Some matchups are screwed. In terms of skill level, I would say mid, leaning towards high. Well, not high, but low high. You know, it's like there's things you need to learn. But all in all, there's not that much to learn. You can learn his cool little tech to where you dash, you cast an ability, and then you cast a movement ability, and then you dash again with your basics, and then cast another movement ability, so there's that. Which is good to getting back to lane. That means you don't have to take teleport glyph, you can take something like blink, and that's nice. But yeah, that's King Arthur. Good overall. Thumbs up.
Okay.
But the stereotype of just bashing your head on the controller, that's a bit of a weird one. I mean, that is literally a stereotype. But what do you think would happen if I bashed my head on my controller? My controller, that's what would happen.
Honestly, I'm not going to say anything about him because I don't have enough experience or anything about him to say anything, so, you know, I think, yeah. I'll just leave it with what you two said, so that's fair enough. Yeah.
What about what you've played against, though? You can give an opinion on that.
I mean, honestly, like, if I'm fighting a King Arthur, depends obviously who I'm playing. Like, I mean, let's talk about Amaterasu. Obviously, she can silence him out of his little spin, for example.
Wait, she can silence his spin?
Yeah, because it's silence on it, so she can silence.
Ares can cancel his spin as well.
Yeah.
With the dash, isn't it? Isn't that what silences?
Yeah, that's the dash. Or any sort of character that can silence him out of his abilities. Sort of screwed then. But I don't really have too much to say about him, really. I don't.
Oh, but the next one you have a lot to say about.
But yeah, I don't think he's an overly like. He's not one of those characters that's like unbalanced, like where he's like
He used to be.
Well, yeah, but that's used to be.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he's underbalanced. I don't think he's shit. Like, I don't think he's overpowered. I think he's like, from what I've played against, I feel like he's in between. Like, I don't think he's a scary character, never, like, necessarily. Like, his ult doesn't necessarily do a lot of damage, but, well, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's all I have to say, so, yeah. King Arthur, yay.
Bollocks. Who's the next big fella?
Oh, Mulan, okay.
Mulan? Oh, angry Chinese one. Do you want to go first, Louise? You've played her more than...
His name.
I don't mind, really. Obviously, we all know she's a really strong character early on.
Yeah,
without a doubt. If you build solely a runner, then you're an absolute whore like me. But you know. Anyway, base damage ridiculous. If you can hit that grapple all the time, then you're gonna be an absolute legend. Then they're dead pretty much. Let's not talk about her support because you know that's ridiculous anyway. But anyway, solo lane. She got a heal from her too. That's amazing. She can. The things are pretty. When you look at the damage or whatever, you're like, oh, okay, whatever. To like mastering the thing, but they are pretty simple, easy to level, like to master, so to say. I feel like for the most part, her ability. Well, I mean, they are all easy to hit. Other than, I mean, the grapple can be iffy at times. But it's all about predicting the movement. Obviously, she's a lane buddy for sure, but I don't feel like she's played that much, in my opinion. I don't really see it a whole lot as other gods, but she's definitely quite a strong character. Her ult, I'd say it is mainly used for like escaping, but it can be used for like finishing off people or yeah, he does do a decent amount of damage. So yeah, but yeah, strong character and yeah, I'd say she's just for the grapple ability because it is really weird to hear at times. I'd say she's in between, but strong for sure. Yeah. Go ahead, Jason.
From the Mulans that I've fought, they've all been kind of terrifying, especially the one I fought more recently. But for the most part, it's really weird to fight her sometimes because obviously if they can hit the grapple, scary. You know, she'll go "Nu ne howler" and beat the living hell out of you, and that can be terrifying. If you're playing boosted, you're gonna die. But if you just play, you know, if you just juke her grapple, then you can bully her for the most part because her spear thrust, kinda trash. Her one is nice, that's good. Good clear. Again, you know, 1-2, good clear. Her ult, neither here nor there. Most Mulans can't hit them. I've never been in a spot where I've been like, oh no, Mulano. It's good as an escape. Don't get twisted. Good as an escape. Same with the grapple. Her passive, I don't actually know what that is.
Oh, it's where you evolve the weapons.
Yeah, that one. So that can be good, but it can also be jank because obviously, you know, that means that if you're skilled, it's gonna attack speed, blah blah blah. Yeah, all of that fun stuff. So overall, Mulan can be scary if they can hit their grapples, but most of the time, you know, they can't. So there's been times I've gone, oh no, Mulan, but for the most part, she's okay, neither here nor there. In terms of skill, I'd say probably mid to low. I feel like there's things you do have to learn on her, and of course there's the grapple that you kind of need to learn how to hit. But from what I've seen, you know, you can pick up Mulan, and it will take you some time to learn her, but you know, you can pick her up pretty nicely and play her decently. But yeah, that's my opinions on Mulan.
Fair enough. Jacob, do you want to say anything?
I mean, everything was pretty much said. Like, early game's powerful. If you hit the grapple, you'll be scary. She falls up pretty strong late game, but you know, if you know how to evolve those weapons fast enough, you'll do a lot because doesn't the two have a slow when you evolve it?
No. No, I just wrote it. No, it doesn't. No, it does, yeah, sorry. Yeah. That's just from the start, it does. Yeah.
Oh, well. The two I think's pretty good for hitting a slow, but yeah, like Jason said, I've never been in a situation where I've gone, oh no, Mulan ult. I can't ever think of a time where I've ever gone, oh shit, the Mulan's gonna come in and ult the team. Even when they play jungle Mulan, whenever I see a Mulan, I don't ever get scared and try and dodge the ult, because even if I get hit by it.
Fair enough.
It's just... yeah. Everything's been pretty much said, like, she doesn't really have a lot to talk about.
Okay. Okay, we've got Nike next.
We're doing part 2?
Nike.
I thought you were doing a part 2?
No. No point, we've only got a few characters left actually, so
yeah.
As long as you don't mind, Jason, might as well.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah. I thought we had a bit more, but no, there's not much left, so yeah. It's only Warriors, so yeah. Yeah.
Good old Nike. Sorry, Nike.
Oh my god, you both said the name correctly? Oh my god.
But yeah, Nike. Who wants to start with her? I'm going to be very biased.
Well,
care.
I've played quite a bit. I think I played the most Nike here, I believe, unless Lewis, you might have played a little bit more than me, I'm not sure.
I've only got 33 worshippers on. I played a look
Oh,
twice.
I got 2 masteries.
Nah.
I got first then, well... Clear's nice. Her role is pretty nice for staying alive. She has the shield to block basics. It's good for healing for your team and yourself. The jump's pretty nice. The passive is fucking garbage. I don't know why they thought that was good. They called it to victory. I mean, bro. Yeah. I mean, fair enough. It gives you buffs, but you don't really feel any of it. Like, I mean, her line, but her like clear, her first ability, the rend is it's really nice. You silence somebody at the last hit. The shield you can detonate whenever. You have a lot of pressure pretty much most of the time. So yeah, it's pretty decent. She's a pretty decent character. So, but people always think Nike and think Sunder and Spear, but I don't even buy it for her because if you're hit by that ult, you're more likely never going to hit the Sunder and Spear. I know I fucking can't. No, that's it, really.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jason.
Nike. I hate this character so much. She's such a pain in the ass to have to fight. She has really good base damage, so you know she forces you to run away when you're clearing wave. Otherwise, because she can hit you and wave, and then you know there's of course a little shield, which I'm pretty sure is just a troll ability. I'm sure Hyra's put that in there just to annoy people. To be like, hee, look, you can't hit her because she's just gonna put big old shield in your face and push you back. And then there's of course her her leap. Fuck, that hurts. Ow. She jumps on top of you and pretty much baps you on the head and you're like, oh, I wish I never got hit by that. Because then, you know, she gains shield, so she can dive you on the tower, beat the living hell out of you, and then, you know, if she really wants, ult on out. She doesn't have to, but she can. And then, oh, what's the point? What's the point? Why? Why does she need that? You know, people always say, bring Sundering, it'll be fine. Yeah, I'm gonna walk in her face and use Sundering Spear. You wanna know what she's gonna do? She's gonna look at me like, what the fuck you doing, you little shit? And beat the absolute living hell out of me. And make me wish I'd uninstalled Smite. But yeah, her passive, don't think I've ever gone, oh no guys, we have to stop Mulan, we have to stop Nike passive. But yeah, overall, hate her. Skill, none.
Yeah.
Not a fun character.
Shit's
on all my dreams.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'd agree pretty much. I hate versus Nike. Yeah. It's all that free slam ability. Yeah, it's free, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I absolutely hate that to begin with, and it's just I don't like it whatsoever. I feel like it does so much damage early on, and it's just, I mean, it clears the wave really well. From what I saw. That ability with the barrier, shield, whatever you call it, annoying as hell. Her leap, well, I don't really talk about that really. Her ult, obviously it goes off the amount of health you have, your max health. So if you want to build like a pure health build, whatever. So let's just say like you have 4k health max and you'd get a 2k health shield. Which...
Is that how it works?
Yeah, 50% of your max health.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I did it before in training, it's ridiculous.
So if you just build pure health items, you can physically just never die?
I mean, if you really wanted. Obviously, if you build pure health, then you wouldn't have as much prots, but it's, you know, one of them. It's not like a food builder, isn't it, really? Anyway.
5k health.
Yeah, 5k health
more.
food. Yeah, her passive, it's pretty dog shit. As I said, you don't really notice it. It's not. I feel like she does mainly revolve around her role, really. I guess. Obviously, she does a lot of damage, really, but yeah, I don't think she requires much skill though. So, bah. So, yeah, that's Nike, everyone.
Odin,
Now we got the All-Father, boys and
the
girls.
man himself,
Ah, the most powerful character in the game, everyone.
the CEO of the gods, the big bad boy of God of War.
Ah, yes. Okay. Who wants to go first on this one, then, boys?
I want to go first.
Okay, you can go first.
So I've played Odin a few times, and for the times I did play him, he was really underwhelming. You know, his burst combo is nice. You know, the shield and then the jump. That's real good early game. You know, that's nice. It's good for clearing wave too. But his spear throw is a little jank. The CC, because you have to be up close to them, going wave, wave. You have to literally be counting how many times you've hit him, and then you go wah. And even then, the hitbox of the spear is so strict. It's so strict, so very strict. And then of course Odin suffers from just being an old character in general, so his jump takes about 10,000 fucking years to land. But his ult, not scary at all if you just have loads of attack speed, or if you know, have a jump, anything. You know, you could just beat the shit out of Odin in his own ult if you honestly want. The most he's gonna do is jump at you and probably CC you, try and shield himself. Fucking hell, he might walk out of his own ult, to be honest with you. You know, I bet people think, oh yeah, I'm gonna play Odin. You're gonna be trapped in here with me, big boy. But then they turn around and look at you and go, no, you're trapped in here with me. And then his passive, shit, bad. Don't like it. Get rid of it. Better one. Off Odin, please. Why is he the All-Father and he's so bad?
Okay, so well, as of recent, I feel like his damage on his if you use Warrior's Axe, Warrior's Axe, and then if you do your little like little jump, and obviously the Raven Shout ability, as it's called. That's saying they don't dodge it, the jump, which can be quite easy to dodge. A little side step. It will do a lot of damage. But as I said, it can be quite easy to dodge. The shield's nice if you're trying to like escape from people, I guess. But his ult, I just feel like it is probably one of the most underwhelming. I feel like most of the time people do use it just to try and escape from other people. It can be escaped by pretty much all the characters in the game. Obviously, oh, I didn't know that actually.
What?
He can't be rooted when he's inside his ult, and he can't be slowed. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but you're never in the ult long enough because people just jump away.
Obviously, you get damaged and slowed if you escape the ult, but it doesn't do too much anyway, so bah. Pretty shit character.
Oh yes, the next character is
Cyrus. But yeah, I don't really think it requires
Oh
much.
boy, the lame bully himself, the Egyptian king.
He is actually the definition of lane body for solo laners.
So who
Him
wants to
and
go first on Osiris then?
Who do you think the guy who has the most masteries on him? Yeah, he knows who he is. He's laughing about it
Okay.
because he knows who he fucking is.
Okay.
He knows
How
the
many
pain
you
that
got?
he's brought on
10?
people.
I've got worshippers 1199.
That doesn't tell me how many masteries.
10.
There we go.
Well, 11, but
We've got a star on him.
well, no, that's wrong. What am I on about? No, it's 10, and then it's 1199.
Okay.
So it's 10.
Jeez. Okay, talk about the lane buddy himself, Lewis.
I don't think it requires much brain capacity to play, in my opinion. I really don't. You just spam your abilities and you will kill someone early on. Obviously build that cheeky Mannequin Scepter.
Yep. Yep.
You'll clear that blue buff in a matter of 1 second, and you'll be in the lane. Before the minions even get to the lane, before they've even spawned in, that blue buff will be dead. Most of the time, I feel like he will actually be able to get a kill on the person on the solo lane. So he's all, you know, strong. He's passive.
Bro, I don't even think you can ask us to say anything about Osiris because you've said everything about him.
I don't think he's. I feel like his passive is it is good, but yeah, obviously
That
it's.
passive,
Counters Odin ult nicely.
I mean, yeah, it counters Odin all really well. In fact,
Just walk on out of there.
and Jameer Wall.
Oh yeah, just walk on out of there too.
And before they changed it,
I
them
think
vines that
it's
were in the
pretty
game.
decent because you can spam. Oh shit, I forgot about them. Raw.
Forgot about that. Yeah,
Raw.
but he's a really strong character, regardless.
Yeah.
Even with the nerfs that you got, he's still really strong. If you really want to build Bumba's hammer, go for it. Even though his things really have a short cooldown anyway, but if you really want to do that, go for it. His ult, it's good for aggressive or escaping. Yeah, so.
Fucking dolphin dive.
Yeah, Lewis, remember when I said, does anybody ever die to the Osiris and then I proceeded to die to the Osiris?
I mean, it does like what? At max.
But then, like 2 games after, I proceeded to die to one.
I mean, at max upgrade, it does 620 damage plus 80% of your physical power, which is a lot.
It also does 100%. It also does 100%
Anybody ever died from
anti-heal.
Osiris ult? And guess what happened? One of them dolphin dug onto me and killed me.
It also does 100% anti-heal too. So
Oh,
There's
the
that.
aftermath.
So yeah.
in my time that I fought him, it's not been fun. There's been times where I've gone, oh god, I don't want to fight this man. Does anybody want to switch lanes with me? I know I'm playing King Arthur, but I'll happily go mid. I'll be the jungler if you honestly want. Just anywhere. I'll be the carry if you honestly want. I can be the guy who sits at spawn. Brings people items. Is that a role? I could do that. But you know, he hurts so much. Early game, it's really weird. Because it's like he does nothing, but he also does a lot. Of course his ult is nice, but of course, you know, because he's an old character, it takes 10,000 years for it to land. I do like the noise he makes, he just straight fucking screams. But Osiris, I've never played him, so I can't make a judgment, but that sickle looks pretty strict to hit. His autos though, they're something. They hurt, they shred. It's like fighting a fucking hunter in the solo lane after a while. It's like you can box them a little bit, but once he starts getting some items up, it's just... And then, you know, you're just kind of laying on the ground like, what happened? But yeah, Osiris, not fun, don't like him. In terms of skill level, probably mid to low, honestly. Maybe a little bit more low than anything. Because, yeah, he's probably... no, there's nothing about him that I don't think I could do that. But, yeah, Osiris, don't like him.
The only thing
Ow.
I think is hitting the square ability, although as Lewis said, it doesn't matter if you can't hit it, you can spam it to the point where you wouldn't have to.
I mean,
I feel like it's hard to hit because it's really weird the way it aims, but like as you said, it doesn't matter, you can spam abilities so you don't have to hit it all the time.
I mean, his abilities, like, obviously with the sickle being a bit weird to hit, they do sort of like combine together really well. Obviously, because then with the free, it CCs them, which you can then get obviously the main damaging ability, which is the 2, the one that does more damage, or you can get the 2 off or the 1 off. So it is good in that aspect, I guess. So yeah, that's Osiris, ladies and gentlemen. Son
Not much to
Wukong.
say. Son Wukong.
The safest warrior in the
man.
game.
I hate
It's
him.
character in the game?
I mean, yeah.
Not even just warrior, just character in general.
Who would like to go?
I'd say the man who's played him the most.
That's you then, isn't it?
How many you got?
I got 600 worshippers. Near enough.
I got 400.
Go on then, I'll let you go instead. Just you go. I can go first all the time.
Oh yeah, because the next like 4 gods are all yours.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the next one is definitely yours. I do not care.
Go on.
Yeah, his abilities, he's fast, he's good for clear, his second's good for clearing as well. It's also got a slow on it, which makes it good for pressure and stuff. The third ability, bro, you could either escape, or you can go in with the ball form, but nobody ever does that. You use your either tiger or bird. If you tiger, you're definitely just gonna kill someone, because it does so much fucking damage. Especially if you're a soul eater. It's like Mulan 2.0. And the bird, bro. If you get caught in the bird form, or you don't have that ready to escape, you are fucking retarded. There's just no way you should be getting caught in that form. I'm saying that now. I'm not gonna play him for a couple of days in case it happens. He's all.
It's all on stream, it doesn't matter.
CC immune.
I'll clip it if you die while in your bird form. I don't
Bro,
care.
I'd clip it and send it.
The dead.
Yeah, he's all CC immune when you're going up into it. Heal while you're up in it, and you just wait for your cooldowns to come down, and you dive somewhere. And it's passive. Your passive, you don't really feel, to be honest.
I don't even know what it is.
When you get below like 50% health, you gain like protections and physical power.
Funny that you say that, actually.
I don't feel his passive.
You know who actually said his passive is actually really stupid?
Who?
The man himself. Fine, okay. I heard him say that.
Well, yeah, because for good players, it's easy because they get physical power and protections, so they can play around it, can't they?
Wait, 2, 1. Oh. Alright, yeah. What skill level then, Jake? What do you think his skill level is?
Low tier, bro. You don't need to think. You don't need to do anything. You just bird form away from everyone. Even players who don't know how to build, as soon as you dive them, they just bird form.
I mean, he's fun to play though. You can't say he isn't. He's fun to play.
Because you don't need to do anything.
Yeah. Jason, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure, why not? From what I've played against, he feels stupid. I feel like I can never kill a Wukong. Because, you know, if they go behind me, they ox away and then I'm thrown in the air. And then, of course, Tiger, CC, he does a lot of damage early game. Overall, he feels really good. Feels like a good person to play. You know, he is probably the safest character in the game, if not one of the safest. You know. And then, of course, master of transformations.
Certitude transformations.
You know, take flight. Or if you want, knock everybody out of the way. Or even if you are feeling a little bit fresca, and then, of course, you know, there's the good old cloud. That, you know, people always will just sit in and heal up, and it heals a ridiculous amount. And then they'll come along, smack you on the head, spin around, tiger, smack you a few more times, and then you're dead. Doesn't matter, he'll dive you on the tower, he don't give a fuck. And the damage of him jumping out of the cloud can be really confusing at times, because it's like, yeah, this isn't gonna kill me, and then it does, and then you're like, oh. And then you get sad. But, yeah, Wukong. In terms of skill level, probably low, honestly. I don't feel like there's anything about him that's too hard to master. All of it is pretty, do this, forehead and you'll be fine. But he does look like fun though. I'd probably play him if I didn't completely despise him.
Okay,
You're going first here. You can't even ask anybody else.
Oh no, I was still on Sun Wukong.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he's all really strong if you're using it aggressively, or just using it to just escape. Obviously, you can use it go over the wall, you know, whatever. Boom. Sometimes some people are like absolutely retarded and think, oh my god, that's actually him, but no, it is Pet. Obviously, as it's been said, he is probably the safest character in the game. Doesn't require a brain cell to use. His one, it's really good poking.
Poking.
Poking. Or just clearing the wave. Overall, just a really good character. Don't need your brain cell to play. It's fun to play, and yeah, obviously it's passive. Once again, I don't really feel it too much. And let's just say he's got the best sounding autos in the game. Sorry, I have to say it. It sounds like some sort of like old ass action movie. But yeah. Okay.
Tier.
So we got Tier.
Oh hell yeah!
Played him a few times.
Tier X.
Lewis Scott, I've played him a few times.
Actually, you know what? I'm not going first for this one. Someone else go
No,
first.
you are. No
Me,
way.
I'll
You're
go
going
first.
Go on,
I'm
Jason.
going
So,
Lewis, you have
Okay.
to go first, bro.
Okay, so I've only ever played Tier like once or maybe twice, and for the time, I couldn't play him all that well, but I did like him. You know, the Fearless is fun. You grab people, you take them into tower, you cleave them, you go pow. Only thing about Tier is your game plan is always the Fearless, and people have kind of wisened up to that, and they'll just go, yeah, I'm gonna walk away from you. I'm gonna go that way. I will say this, sometimes Tier feels unkillable. He just, turns around, smacks you in the face, runs away. Especially in his blue stance. And his ult, can't say too much about it. Again, he suffers from being an old character, so that ult takes about 10,000 years to land. Somehow he throws his sword into the air and uses the momentum of it being in the air to land. I don't know how that works. Apparently Tier can fly now. That's fine. Speaking of, how does King Arthur throw people in the air? What the how does he stay there for so? Not important. Anyway, Tier. Yeah. Tier is scary sometimes. Does nice damage. His base damage overall is good. He's a good tank. And in terms of his skill level, I'd say probably leaning towards higher. There's definitely some things you need to learn with him. His abilities can be a bit jank. And if you really put your mind to it, you will kill a Tier eventually. But I feel like people give him maybe too much credit than what he actually is. But yeah, that's Tier for me. Don't know what his passive is. Can't remember. But then again, I haven't played him all that much, so I can't say. But yeah. Oh yeah, his passive actually, now I remember. His passive is strong, good, like...
Isn't that the one where you'd have 1 second like freezes?
yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to work for me. But, yeah, are you done, Jason? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so Tier is a character I used to fucking hate versing. He's very I'll start with his ult. Most of the time I'm using it just for escaping after I'm trying to take on the whole fucking team. Just using it to escape. He's a very escape friendly warrior as well. He's another one. Although he's fearless, okay. If you're playing against someone who doesn't know Tier too well, they will just walk in a really easy way. I know that sounds stupid, but you'll be able to fearless them really easily. But if you're versing someone who does have somewhat decent movement, then they'll be able to just give you the good old moves and make your life a bit more miserable. Obviously with his two stances, he can heal in his second stance. Most people don't seem to think to build anti-heal against him. I don't know why, but then they moan about his healing. Makes no sense to me. Obviously his healing is based off then, like, you know, minions being there and him healing off 3 minions or something similar to this. in lane, if you really want to fight him, make sure there's no minions there at the time, so we can't heal off it. Obviously, I shouldn't be giving out advice, but you know, whatever. But I do think he can be a pretty strong character. But yeah, I love versing him when I'm playing tier myself, so as you saw in the tier 1v1 video. So yeah, his passive, it doesn't seem to work for me. I don't know why. Bah. But yeah, good character. So yeah, go for it. Anyone?
I mean, you've said everything about it, really. Like, I think pretty medium to high skill level. You just need to be able to hit the fearless and stuff. He's pretty good all around. Good stun switch, good heal, good sustain, good pressure. Just good all around.
Ah, one thing I do need to add. Another thing which other tier players seem to do, they seem to get way too cocky when they're pushing somebody under the tower, and they will take way too many tower shots, and they will die for it. That's one thing which I do like. One thing which I do feel like people do, they do underestimate him sometimes. Like, for example, they will dash in at like level 2 to clear minion waves right next to your tower, and then you can easily push them under the tower and they will die. So yeah, that's that really. For mana.
The mana.
Who wants to go first on this guy then?
The mana. Hi.
I can.
Lil mana.
For mana, pretty meh character, to be honest. He gets out pressured by most of the solo laners. His abilities meh for clear. He has a nice dash to escape. He is slow. He has a cone, but the greatest thing about him is his ult. Like, you just press, as soon as you get low, as soon as you want to fight somebody, you just press triangle and you heal all your health back and get protections. But for manas like to play really aggressive, I think they can kill everything and they end up dying for it. But there's not much to say about Vomana, to be honest. Like, it's pretty shit. You don't really have to learn, because most of manas just ult and that's it. That's it, to be honest. There's not much to say about Vomana. Lewis, you go.
Oh, okay. As already said, his ult doesn't require no brain. I mean, sorry. If you don't build something like Frostbound or something which slows people down in your ult, they will most of the time just be able to walk away and be like, look at the big baby. And you'll just be swinging at nothing, you know.
Old man.
And yeah. Although sometimes if the enemy team do have a shit ton of like burst damage, Morgan Le Fay, or something like
Someone
this.
invite me, whoever the group leader is.
Okay. They will literally just out damage his ult, which is ridiculous. But yeah, without his ult, pretty dog shit. Yeah, but I don't think he requires much skill when he has his ult. Well, any skill, so. He's just an ult bot, so. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So that's that then. Jason?
Yeah.
Do you want to say anything about the mana, or?
I mean, yeah and no. I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I've gone, oh no, the mana, yay! He's not that scary until he gets his ult. You know, he does pretty good damage early, but it's not scary enough, because then you just kind of swack around a little bit. I will say, he does a pretty escape with his little helicopter fan, umbrella thingy. And of course his ult in general, all pretty good. But yeah, like you said, you can just, you know, run or jump away from his ult, and then he just kind of chases you really awkwardly like you shit his pants, while smacking the ground continuously, hoping to just break the game and hit you a little bit. You know, just a little bit, maybe even a smidgen. But yeah, overall, meh.
Okay. Well, that concludes the first episode for Warriors.
Warriors.
Yeah, we did it for Warriors, and then we're doing it in parts basically.
Please save the majors till last.
We're doing Mages next, I believe. We're doing it upwards. We started from Warriors because that's what we mainly play. So then we're doing Mages, Hunters, Guardians, Assassins. Yeah, I believe that's how we're doing it.
Oh right, yeah, that's like in order with the way you play them, isn't it? Apart from Guardians and Hunters would need to be swapped. Because you play more Warriors, more Mages, then you play more Guardians and Hunters than Assassins. Like Assassins your least played.
Yes, sir. But yeah,
Because
I'll end it here.
played Loki like 3 times, bought skin from him and went, nope.
Fucking hell, that was 2 hours. Christ.
Oh.
Fucking hell, Jason. Yeah, I'll end it here anyway.